Alice in Wonderland. Long ago, there lived a sweet girl named Alice. One day, she was feeling bored at home and so wandered into the forest, picking her favorite flowers. Suddenly, she heard a strange sound behind her. Alice turned around. She saw a white rabbit going past her in a hurry, saying something to himself. The rabbit was wearing a waistcoat and had a watch in his hand. He quickly went down a rabbit hole. Now, Alice had never seen a rabbit in a waistcoat, so she decided to follow him. The moment she stepped into the hole, she fell down and kept on falling till she landed on the floor of a huge hole. She looked around. All the doors and windows of the hole were locked. She saw a key on the table. Alice used the key to unlock a small door. But the door was so small that she could not go through it. Alice became sad. Then she saw a bottle which had a label that read, "Drink me." Alice picked up the bottle and drank from it. It was the most delicious drink she had ever tasted. But with every sip, Alice went on becoming smaller and smaller until she was the size of a tiny mouse. Though surprised, Alice was happy that now she could go through the small door. But she had forgotten the key on the table and had become too small to reach it. Thus, she became sad again. Then Alice saw a small table upon which was kept a plate of pastries. It had a label that read, "Eat me." Hungry as she was, Alice could not stop herself from gobbling down the pastries. And they were the most delicious ones she had ever tasted. But with each bite, Alice went on becoming taller and taller until her head could touch the ceiling, and she had to bend her neck to avoid getting hurt. Out of fear, Alice started crying. Just then, the door opened with a creaking sound. Out came the same white rabbit whom Alice had followed. At first, he was scared to see the huge Alice, but when he saw her crying, he took pity on her and gave her a biscuit to eat. As soon as Alice took a bite, she became her small size again. Following the white rabbit, Alice came out in the open, and that was the backyard of the March Hare's house. There, at a table, sat the March Hare, the Mad Hatter, and the sleepy little Dormouse. All of them were having tea from empty cups. Alice was bewildered. Suddenly, she saw a huge tree with a door in its trunk. Alice pushed the door slowly and it opened into a beautiful garden. It was the garden of the Queen of Hearts. There were two gardeners painting the white roses red. "Why are you painting the roses?" asked Alice. "Because the Queen of Hearts does not like white roses," the gardeners replied. "And she does not like strangers either." And so shouting, they began to chase Alice. Alice ran as fast as she could. The harsh voices of the gardens echoed in her ears. She screamed and gasped and ran for her life until she found herself back at the place where she had been picking her favorite flowers. Ah, sighed the little girl. It was just a dream.